Okay, Rudy here. So this video is all about silver. We'll go through a bit of theory as well, and as to why, and then we'll go through the Australian ASX companies involved with silver and my favourite ETF, the SILJ ETF. But so last night, the Federal Reserve had their big annual meeting, and basically game on. They're going to start lowering interest rates, and so I'm not going to go through all of them, but this is the chart that you want to know why I'm bullish on precious metals. So this is the US 30-year over 10-year interest rates. Okay, so what that means is when this is rising, we go into a period of what they call stagflation. So where you get low economic growth, rising inflation, and high unemployment. And so we already know the US has had to revise their jobless claims, and then you've got AI coming. And if you just see what happens, so gold and silver love stagflation, because they're a hedge against inflation. So what I've done there is just added the silver price. So you can see last time this ratio broke out, the silver price went up, and the silver price is already sniffing it out long time before. This is 2023, and the ratio is just breaking out now. So what that means is that silver hasn't even started to rise comparatively. So you can see here it's now broken out, and it's now game on. So that's why I'm bullish gold and silver. But why is silver more than gold? So one big reason is the charts, but we'll go through a bit of fundamentals. So this is the silver price chart since the 1980s. So it got up to $50, rounded bottoms, I love rounded bottoms, up to 50 in 2011, and we'll go and have a look at shorter time frames soon. But just a quick run through about why silver. So silver is also used. There's basically about 250 million ounces of silver used in solar panels. So 5-10 years ago that demand wasn't there. There's about 800 million ounces of silver produced in a year, and it's used in electrical, medical equipment. It's used in jewelry. It's seen as a monetary metal along with gold. Since minus 2000 caveman times, gold and silver were real money. It's only over 100 years ago that they started creating paper money, which we have today. It's also mined out of the ground in a ratio of 7-1. So 7 ounces of silver for every ounce of gold. And we'll get to that when we see the current ratio. And the big one is this paper to physical. It's shorted. So for on the futures market, the COMEX, they're short 100 equivalent, say 100 ounces for every one ounce that they hold in their vaults. So both gold and silver are heavily manipulated because the powers that be don't want people knowing it's real money. Okay, so as you can see, there's just been cups and handles within cups and handles within cups and handles. You can see what happened last night, once after the Federal Reserve spoke. Bang, up she went. So we're getting really close to taking out the recent highs. This blue line is resistance from back 15, 20 years ago. So silver's getting ready to rock and roll. So why do I like silver more than gold? There's this thing called the gold to silver ratio. Now, you know how I said 7 to 1? That's sort of where it should be. Well, there's a historical relationship here. This is where you should be. This is at 100 to 1, where you should be buying silver and sell your gold, and then down here, vice versa. So you can see, if we go now, so what it means is when it's coming down, silver is increasing at a faster rate than gold is increasing. And we've broken this line here, this trend line, which implies silver is going to get back down. Remember, I was saying 7 to 1, we're at 80. So silver is going to start rocking and rolling more than gold. So they both will go up, except silver will go up faster. So for those people who have been listening to me since I started in March, CTP Mag is the ETF, which just is the physical silver. Now we'll go through our companies that we've got here. Unfortunately, we did have a silver producer, Adriatic. It's been taken over by Dundee, so it'll continue off somewhere else. We've got this Manuka Resources, which will start producing silver next year. So it's just coiling, nice little bull flags. A subscriber said, why aren't I showing this polymetals? So polymetals is it's a bit misleading really. They're saying 5 million ounces of silver, but it's 30% silver. Most of it's zinc and lead. So anyway, it's still got silver in it, so I'll give it to him, and it's forming a nice declining wedge there, and they are producing, so it's just that zinc and lead prices aren't doing much. Okay, then we've got a few developers. So we've got Andean Silver. They've got a 100 million ounce resource. So they're how do we say, so they're doing a bit of a retest from the breakout. Now I only really like the ETFs, the SILJ, which we'll get to, but I know some people like to have punts, so I'm not recommending these ones because they're not producers, but I know people like to have punts. Boab Metals is another one, a bit like Poly, but this is a silver lead mine really, so it's more lead, but it's got, because silver is mined with either zinc and lead or gold and silver. So then we've got Silver Mines. So they're so they've got 130 million ounce resource in New South Wales. They had issues. It's a lovely cup and handle pattern there. So it's setting up to go, but they got issues with electricity. But I was one of my the man MP, and he reckons they've got the approval to go ahead, but you got to wait for the price to see if that's true. And there's this West Coast Silver. So they got another decent project. Used to be in production, so that's always good, and that's looking wonderful. It looks like that wants to just rock. Then we've got some Explorers. So Alicantro. So they're doing some exploration in Sweden. That looks ready to rock and roll. So these guys are just drilling. These are drill baby drill. So they'll be looking for money. They'll be doing capital raises. So these guys are in New South Wales. So they've got a nice pennant there. And we've got Investigator. So they're in South Australia, drilling. So at the bottom of the channel there. Got Maronan Metals. So they've got a nice little rounded bottom there. A break above 28.30. That'll rip in Australia. Got Mithril Silver and Gold. They're drilling. They're in Mexico. Mexico's where the big place for silver. Nice bull flag breakout, finding support. That'll probably rip. Sun Silver. So they're in USA. That's down to support again. And then we've got USL Unico Silver. So they're in Argentina. Nice rounded bottom. Come back to this support line here. So that looks nice. Okay, so into my favourite ETF. So this is SilJ. So these are an ETF full of global silver miners. So look at that. That's just ready to rip. So the daily last night, so I can see it's just taking out these highs here. The only problem is you've got to wait, not wait, you can only get it in America, so you need to have access to an international broker. That's not a big deal. So people in the channel were buying it down here, but we just started. So just an interesting ratios. I like ratios. This is SilJ over Bitcoin. So declining wedge. SilJ will start to outperform Bitcoin in my opinion. SilJ over the price of silver. So usually the miners will outperform the price of silver. Like back here. So at the moment the silver price has been going up faster than the miners, the SilJ. So now you can see there's a breakout, so that'll start going higher than the silver price. This is SilJ over my second favourite ETF, GDX. So it's the silver miners over the gold miners. So they have been outperforming since May, and I reckon SilJ will eventually make its way and outperform, because if the silver price is going to go faster, higher than gold, then it's natural for it to happen. So the company's in SilJ. So you've got Cure. Okay, so they produce their 20 million ounces of silver, along with 400,000 ounces of gold. It's very rare to find a pure silver mining company. So usually what you want is a silver gold one, not necessarily a silver lead zinc one. Got First Majestic, so they're producing 30 million ounces. You can see it's ready to rock. So I think so next week, if the silver price keeps going, then they're looking for confirmation that last night wasn't just a hoax. Will it get squashed like the silver price usually does? You got Heckler, so they've broken out. They do 16 million ounces of silver. Endeavour. So Endeavour Silver, because there is an Endeavour mining company. So they're producing 8 million ounces of silver, 40,000 ounces of gold, and they've broken out. And then lastly, there's a royalty company in Silj. There's other ones, but they're smaller. These are the big ones. So this is a royalty company. So a royalty company is not a miner. They basically lend money to miners and then get paid back in their production. So lovely things to invest in. Alright, so for those already in silver, well done. I think you've done the right thing, and those that aren't, hope it makes you think. The problem is silver is very volatile, but that's the risk reward. Alright then, so